Okay, I welcome you all with love. It's been a really busy weekend. You haven't heard from me much on Facebook. We just did a 3-day meditation intensive. Now we're doing a 0 point. And let me explain what that is. So the meditation intensive, we did both with people at a distance all over the world, as well as some people actually in the room here. And it was very, very powerful. Almost everybody had the Kundalini, the Ruach HaKodesh awakened. People got really high and really positive, and major transformation happening. It's the midst of everything else going on in the world, which takes us to what we're doing with 0 point today. And one of the principles we talked about at 0 point is Drishti Shrishti, which means the world is as you see it, the world is as you believe it to be. And that's very applicable to what's going on in the world today around the coronavirus situation. Now, I want to make it clear that we know, based on all the different statistics and so forth, particularly with a Nobel laureate out of Stanford, that based on his calculations for the whole population, we're talking about somewhere between 0.05 and 0.625 of the population it can be fatal for. Now, that's pretty scary, but the real question is, with the SARS, 10%. Now, this is like 1/6 of 1%. Now we're talking about 10% with SARS. The Marburg virus is 80% fatality. You never even heard of it. H1N1, same thing. You know, the percentages of mortality were much, much, much higher than this COVID-19. So what's going on? The world is as you see it. The world is as you believe it to be. Drishti Shrishti. So a mindset is being created, okay, where people are put into fear. So even though in the United States is what I'm talking about, not the rest of the world, we're looking at actually a relatively very low percentage of people dying. Not that people don't die, not that it can't affect you, but obviously, but we also have statistics saying that 86% of the people don't even know they're carrying it around. The infection is so mild. And 81%, it's very mild, and we got about 15% that's moderate, maybe around 5% that it's severe. So all that's going on, and at the same time we're hearing out of France that the hydroxychloroquine plus another kind of antibiotic cured 100% of the people in 6 days. Whoa. So, but nevertheless, people are in a state of fear. The world is as you see it, the world is as you believe it to be. So what becomes more obvious is I'm having such a positive experience with people all over the world, and being, in this room and with the 0 point, is we need to look at the state of fear. Yeah, people die from the virus. Yeah, there's 63,000 people a year who die of the flu, okay? And 62 of those 1,000 die of some kind of pneumonia-associated flu. Yeah, people die. I don't know exactly how many people we have because different combinations, but it'll probably at least 300 people have died, but that's not 62,000. It's about a state of fear. That's the real contagion and the energy that's behind it. So I think we should look very closely at, hey, good hygiene, wash your hands, take lots of vitamin C. Vitamin D is very protective, and it cuts down 40 to 50% of lower respiratory infections. The Illumidine is really good. It's been shown very successful with SARS and MERS, viruses out of there. Silver has been shown to be very, very good. So there are different things that help. I don't want to focus on that because that's not my point here. My point is our state of mind is the most important thing to be focusing on. That is what makes us very, very vulnerable. I'll tell you this is a real story. In Israel, I did a retreat kind of in the Negev desert where I was 76 hours, really 72 hours, but it turned out to be 76, without food and water, in the hot sun. Okay, I was fine. I'd come out of this, and I was in the middle of a kind of cliff, so to speak, so I didn't have to deal with wild animals and so forth. And that day I read about a person who was just in the desert for 12 hours. I don't know if they panicked or what they did, but they died of dehydration. So I'm there, 72 hours, really, as they said, 76 hours, fine, without food and water. Somebody else, a young man, somebody in their 20s, dies of dehydration in 12 hours. What's going on? I think we can talk about fear again. You get lost in the desert, you get afraid, and it decreases your actually ability to survive. So the message here, again, Drishti Sursti. I'm happy, I'm meditating in a cave, it wasn't really a cave, in the sun, half cave, doing fine. And for a much longer time. But my angle of my mind is what really matters. I had no thought of danger, no thought of difficulty. I was really at peace with the whole thing and very pleased with that kind of retreat. Other person's in fear and they die in 12 hours. So this is what we really need to think about. What I really want people to think about Drishti Sursti, the world is as you see it, the world as you believe it to be. Our state of mind makes us very resistant to what's going on, or in certain ways makes us very, very vulnerable. So let's look at our state of mind. Let's move out of our state of fear, which is unrelated to the other kind of viruses that come by. I mean, SARS, MERS, I think is 30% mortality. Marburg, 80%. And we're talking about, according to this Nobel laureate person, 0.6% max? What's going on? So please, kind of relax and be at peace with this. Take care of yourself. Have good hygiene. Pay attention. As the Sufis say, love everybody, but tie up your donkey. So pay attention, do everything, but be at peace, and it's going to support your immune system, your overall consciousness, and it's a way of really blossoming under this time of external stress. Peace be with you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Takyavasan.